The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. And now it's time for the Mr. Nailsin Show.
Hey guys. It's your old pal, Lefty again. I know, it's been a while, and, boy, it's been a tough year with the election and the trauma that it could cause, and especially even when you pretty much are convinced that you have it in the bag and probably did, this so-called election. I mean, look at the results, but nevertheless, here we are, and should we really be shocked? Once again, we underestimated the Russians, and we underestimated the power, the dark, evil power of racism and misogyny, on top of homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, all the phobes. That's right. And that's just, life is quite a bit a struggle, and there's always things to challenge you, and this is another one of those. And it's been tough, it's been hard, and I understand that. Sometimes, it's the holiday season, so take a moment, take a deep breath and get yourself ready, because, next year's a new year. It sure is, and we got to get into it. So, to help out, I thought I'd prepare a little something that I've been working on. After I came out of the hangover and was ready to go forward on this, I prepared a bit of a statement on our challenges and how we can go. And I want everyone to pay attention, even if you think Orange Man's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You better listen up, buddy, because I'm talking to you, too. So first, I'll begin with...
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Demise of polyamorous relationship leads to romantic rival shooting jealous victim. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. So anyway, a Florida woman reportedly became enraged when she was dumped from a polyamorous relationship. So she showed up at her romantic rival's apartment door and ended up getting shot. Jail and court records show that 22-year-old Lorraine Barbie Cruz is facing charges of second-degree attempted murder and using a firearm while committing a felony. Well, yes, that's the element used in the attempted murder. So it's always kind of weird how the charges are done, because isn't it all the same thing? But that way you can add more counts, So anyway, she's the gun moll, and we don't know what the victim looks like, but she was mad because she won out in the battle of bitches over the dude, That's what I'm guessing. Is that how it turned out? Well, let's see. So anyway, it happened. It happened one night. It happened around 2 p.m. Saturday at a Miami high-rise apartment building. An arrest affidavit obtained by some local affiliate, who cares, and reviewed by this site, Law and Crime. Cruz, the female victim, and a man were allegedly in a polyamorous relationship. The man later told detectives that he and the victim had been in a relationship for about 5 years before he met Cruz about 2 years ago. That's when the trio entered into a polyamorous relationship. But the man recently began having issues with the victim, so he dumped her like a turd in the bowl in favor of Cruz. This allegedly made the victim jealous. Well, yeah. She's left out in the cold. steel toe. The man spent the night with Cruz and was outside on her balcony smoking a cigarette around 6 a.m. Saturday. The victim, who lives in the building across the street, spotted the man from her own balcony and allegedly yelled, "That's what you want to do?" Yes, and he did it. He wants to do Miss Cruz, and he's going to keep on doing. Well, not anymore, because she's going to be in jail and prison. Oh, man, that sucks. That's too bad. Anyway, the man scurried back inside and left the apartment because he didn't want to deal with the drama. Well, no shizness. Yeah. He got the hell out of there. Somehow, he had an inkling of what might occur. Because he's known these women intimately. Oh, yes. Yes. So several hours later, the victim allegedly went over to Cruz's apartment building. A DoorDash driver told cops he was making a delivery to the building and rode up the elevator to the 31st floor with the victim. He could tell she was angry. The driver told cops he saw the victim go to an apartment and start banging and kicking the door. Meanwhile, Cruz allegedly called her lover. "Come get your girl. She is outside banging on my door," she reportedly told the man. Well, he didn't show up, you know. Hey, I don't want anything to do with that psycho bitch. Yeah, but you gotta defend your current lady, don't you? Well, anyway, then Cruz allegedly shot the victim in the neck. The DoorDash driver heard the gunshot, but didn't see the shooter. Well, yeah, the door was shut. I think they meant to say he didn't witness the shooting. Yeah. He saw the victim bleeding from the neck. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital where doctors removed the bullet from her neck. Wow. The condition of the victim is unclear. Man, we don't know how bad the condition is. And a bullet wound to the neck, if it damaged the vertebrae, she might be paralyzed from the neck down. You know? Or maybe she's near death as we speak. That's going to be bad for, Miss Cruz. Well, detectives reportedly determined that the victim never entered the apartment, and Cruz blindly fired a gun through the door, striking the victim in the neck. They took Cruz to the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center. Wow, Knight could hang out there, where she's being held without bond. Well, she's got a court date in December, just in time for the holidays, That's too sad. So we don't know what ranking we'd give the other girl. But Mr. Studley thought this was better. So she won that deal. But then, well, and I mean, how scary was the other girl? That might be able to factor in for mitigating circumstances in which she could say, hey, look, I was scared for my life. So I told her to leave, but she wouldn't. Did she actually believe this other girl could kick that door down? Maybe it's really cheap, If she kept pounding on it, maybe she would have gotten in. And then, oh my God, who knows what could have happened. But, boy, I tell you, when it comes to these polyamorous relationships, they tend not to end well. Because it turns out they're more poly than amorous. You're listening to the Mr. Nailsin Show here on RadioMisfits.com.
Tonight, I have a new report for you. A most important one, too. Because when you're asked to try a cigarette, you want to know, and you ought to know, what that cigarette has meant to people who smoke it all the time. After a full year of observation, a medical specialist who has given a group of Chesterfield smokers thorough examinations every 2 months for the full year reports no adverse effects to their nose, throat, or sinuses from smoking Chesterfield. More and more men and women all over the country are finding out every day that Chesterfield is best for them. Enjoy your smoking. Try Chesterfields today. They're best for you. Much milder, with an extraordinarily good taste.
And now it's time for the Bayou Crime Report. A Louisiana woman has been arrested after she claimed her child was kidnapped along Highway 190. But the story took a crazy turn. Hey, I'm Red Neckerton. According to St. Landry Parish Sheriff Bobby Guidro's office, a woman was arrested on several charges after she called authorities out to the intersection of U.S. Highway 190 and Industrial Road with a claim that someone in a truck had abducted her child. The mother claimed that she had stopped on the side of the road. According to St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Major Mark LeBlanc, deputies who arrived immediately knew something was wrong with 24-year-old Artasia Quantea Vidges' story. While this was going on, the child showed up with injured knees in the parking lot of Heinen Medical Clinic, saying his mother had run him over. The child added that his mother then drove away. Juvenile detectives were called in to begin an investigation into what each had to say. They determined that the mother and son had an argument, and the boy was having a tantrum. What transpired in that car ride was that the boy wanted out of the car. As the mother was pulling to the side of the road, the kid basically bailed out of the car while it was still moving, and that's how he injured his knees. He was also not properly restrained in the car. Detectives say the mother left the child on the side of the road because the child had a tantrum and drove away, leaving the child to fend for himself in the dark along major thoroughfares. Well, Vidges was arrested on the following charges. Cruelty to juveniles. That's a felony. Child desertion. That's a misdemeanor. False swearing for the purpose of violating public health or safety. This also is a felony. But then again, it's probably for the best that they showed up, even though it was under false pretenses. Well, this little snot done got his mama in a heap of trouble. That's what this looks like. And I know, oh my God, they can be quite the handful. And sometimes you might find yourself wishing you'd had a little operation or something like that. But oh boy, you just can't lose your cool to that extent. I mean, you can't just leave them on the side of the road like some stray dog you really regret feeding. No, you're stuck with them for quite a while. You're just gonna have to figure that out, Artasia. For the Bayou Crime Report, I am Red Neckerton, reminding you to keep your goddamn holes clean. The Bayou Crime Report is a presentation of Nailsin Productions. You're listening to the Mr. Nailsin Show here on RadioMisfits.com.
Look, Babs, just stretch. That's all it takes. But, Ann, I can't. My bra won't let me.
Okay, Sandy, come on, let's shoot something interesting. The stuff that sells.
More of those? Oh, all right. But remember, I'm not double-jointed.
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Once upon a time in Southern California, a person wore a bear costume to damage luxury cars so friends could allegedly cash in on hefty insurance payouts. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. 4 people in the Los Angeles area were arrested and charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy after claiming their fancy vehicles were damaged by a bear, only for insurance investigators to discover the destruction was actually caused by a person wearing a bear costume. The fake beast allegedly broke into a 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost on January 8th. That was parked just northeast of Los Angeles at Lake Arrowhead in the San Bernardino Mountains. The owner of the luxury car submitted a video to the insurance company to seemingly prove that the creature wrecked the vehicle, but the insurance department didn't buy it. Upon further scrutiny of the video, the investigation determined the bear was actually a person in a bear costume. Ruben Tamrazian, Ariot Cherkinian, Vay Murakan, something like that, Al-Fayya Zuckerman have all been charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy. The insurance companies were defrauded of $141,839 because of the alleged fraud committed by the suspects. The state insurance department also released footage from what they call Operation Bear Claw, detailing the alleged animal production. Surveillance video showed the alleged beast entering the window of the Rolls-Royce passenger side, but as it makes its way to the back seat, the animal's fur appeared very shiny and smooth, like it was a Halloween costume bought at a store as opposed to a creature in the wild. Photographs released by investigators revealed the interior of the Rolls-Royce had a very straight and parallel marks damaging the seats and doors, with the car owner claiming it was from the bear's claws. A biologist from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife reviewed footage and suggested it was a person in a costume. Later, the bear costume was found in the suspect's home after a search warrant was executed. A photograph of the outfit showed what appeared to be a onesie with bear-like fur, attachable paws for the feet and hands, and claw-like blades that seemingly could have been used to scratch the seats. The incident wasn't the only suspicious claim. Detectives found 2 additional insurance claims with 2 different insurance companies where the suspects used the same date and location for their wild claims. Each of those claims involved 2 different vehicles, a 2015 Mercedes G63 AMG and a 2022 Mercedes E350. And the suspects again appeared to use a bear costume to make it appear that a bear also entered and damaged those vehicles. Well, this appears to be a case of furries gone wild, but in the end, they just weren't as smart as the average bear. The Mr. Nailsin Show is brought to you by me, Night Night. Head over to IndiePlanet.com to get your copy of the Night Night comic book so that you can actually see me in action in my one-man war on crime. Shut up, Boo-o! God damn it! I do the announcements. Oh, God. No one gives a crap about Boo-o.
I'm part of the team, man. Tell him about these false advertising. God,
stupid idiot.
I help Night Night fight crime, and we blow stuff up and do a lot of damage. and of course, people get mad at us when we do, but...
Well, it's a war on crime, and in every war, there's collateral damage.
I mean, well, I guess it isn't one-man war, because
exactly.
It's a two-man war on crime.
All right, anyway, we're running out of time. Don't miss this opportunity to get your hands on the adventures of Night Night.
And Boo-Bo.
The Night Night comic book available at IndiePlanet.com. Previously on the cruise. Did it go through?
Well, everything seems to be in working order. I'll try again. Approaching vessel, this is ocean liner Odysseus. We are in desperate need of aid. Please respond.
Oh, man, again with the horn. Maybe their communications are down? There is a storm after all.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god.
That didn't sound good. In you go, Bagsley.
Into my own cabin.
Yeah, well, look, if there was something less comfortable, don't doubt it. I'd lock you up in there. Now get in and don't bother trying to open the door. I'm going to fix it where it's locked on the outside.
Well, am I to remain shackled?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, this is outrageous.
No, you know what's outrageous? You knocking a woman unconscious, pulling a knife on me, and getting a man to fall overboard.
That was an accident, and it was more the fault of Mackenzie himself. After all, we all know there's something not quite right with the man.
Well, there was enough right about him for him to realize he had to stop you from using that knife on me. So, yeah, him falling overboard is totally on you, Bagsley. Hey, Sam. Sarah's on the horn. Yeah, all right. Hey, Sarah, it's Sam.
Yeah, listen, Sam, you need to get up here to the bridge as soon as possible.
Well, I'm on my way over there anyway. What's up?
Well, we've had a communication with them, and it's just best if you come up here and hear it for yourself.
Hey, don't forget to tell them that other ship's on the collision course with us. The collision course? What the...
Collision course?
What did they say? I mean, you sound the horn.
Yes, Sam, we'll do, but just get up here.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Hey, Sam, a collision course? What the hell? I don't know, Lance. That's what we got to find out. And with the storm going on, hell, anything's possible.
More than you know, Hill. Now listen to me. Whatever you do, you have to avoid contact with that vessel.
The hell? Shut up, Bagsley, and back your ass off.
Damn it, listen to me. You're risking the time distortions and displacement.
I told you to back your ass off. Or give me a reason to knock you flat on it.
Mr. Hill, making a mistake.
Nowhere near the ones you've made, Bagsley.
Idiot. Well, I did indeed try. Fool left me in my own cabin. I must make haste. Now more than ever, I've got to get off this boat.
Hey, Sam, I know you're pissed off, but, you gotta keep a leash on those feelings, I guess. I thought you were really gonna tear into Bagsley there. My feelings? Well, especially where Sarah's concerned. Lance, come on. Whoa. What's the horn? What kind of serious chance of collision do we have here? Well, we're about to find out. Let's go. Well, it's a bad time. Jeez Louise. Holy crap, they're really bearing down on us.
The devil?
There's not a single light on in that ship. Are they unable to see us? What do the communications say?
Well, that's just it, Sam. The communication was... Edgar, play it for...
Sarah! I got her, Sam. I got her. Yeah, well, that other ship's about to get us.
God damn it.
Approaching vessel. This is the Odysseus. You are on a collision course with us. Change path. What the hell? That's what they've been saying ever since we made contact. I don't know what the hell that could mean.
Yeah, me neither. I'm altering course. But...
yeah, we thought of that. But every time we move, they match us. Like they're determined to run into us, and it looks like they're gonna do it.
You have been listening to The Cruise, written, performed, and produced
Produced by me, Douglas Nelson. Any and all music is courtesy of Kevin MacLeod and other public domain and copyright-free sources. And now it's time for the Bayou Crime Report.
New Orleans man found dead in Pearl River County. Hey, I'm Red Neckerton. Well, on October 30th, 2024, that'd be this year, Pearl River County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to an address on Oscar Smith Road, whatever, Mississippi, in reference to a human body being discovered. The deputies discovered the remains of a male at the residence. Subsequent investigations identified the deceased male as New Orleans resident Clint Williams. Mr. Williams was found to have died from multiple gunshot wounds. Sheriff's Office investigators were able to establish a timeline identifying the date and approximate time Mr. Williams had been murdered. Based on the timeline and detailed analysis of the crime scene and the evidence discovered, investigators identified a suspect, New Orleans resident Shawanda Carter. On November 6, 2024, Shawanda Carter was arrested without incident and charged with the murder of Clint Williams. Sheriff David Allison said he would like to thank the deputies, crime scene technicians, and investigators for their dedication, long hours, and hard work to get this major crime solved, as well as the community members for their cooperation and assistance. Well, I'm guessing the main thing that led to this arrest was finding the body in the first place. We're only talking, a couple of days since it was found. Yeah, they're not giving a whole lot of details as to all the activities that led to this, but, well, there we are, I know you're supposed to say innocent till proven guilty, but, what do you think? For the Bayou Crime Report, I am Red Neckerton, reminding you to keep the goddamn holes clean.
The Bayou Crime Report is a presentation of Nailsin Productions.